Hi class, today we are doing page 41 and 42. Psalms 120 verse 1 says, I took my troubles to the Lord. I cried out to Him, and He answered my prayer. And so remember, anytime that you guys are troubled, anything that's bothering you, any worries that you have, you go to the Lord in prayer. And we're going to go ahead and start at the beginning of the page, class practice number 1. We're going to use this top box up there to help us to figure out our answers here as we get going. Number 1A, it's saying 1 foot equals how many inches? Now we had that from a previous lesson, 12 inches in 1 foot. B, 1 yard is how many inches? Well, there's 12 inches in a foot. There's 3 feet in a yard, so you do 12 times 3 and you get 36. C, 1 ton equals how many pounds? 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. D, 1 pound equals how many ounces? 1 pound equals 16 ounces. E, 1 yard is 3 feet. And F, 3 feet is 1 yard. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 2 now. We've got to change 3 tons into pounds because our answer is in pounds. So I'm just bringing that down there, pounds. And we're going to box the part we're going to change. And we're going to do like we've done before. 1, 2, 3. We're going from tons to pounds. Are we going larger to smaller or smaller to larger? We're going larger to smaller. So that means we need to multiply. Step 1 is multiply. Step 2, what is our special number? When you think of tons and pounds, what number are you going to think of? There's 2,000 pounds in 1 ton, so it's 2,000. And step 3, we just take our 3 times 2,000. And like we've learned before, I'm going to write that differently. We could do 2,000 times 3. Just bring your 3 zeros down and do 3 times 2 and you get 6. And your answer is going to be 6,000. Write it right there and then write it right here and then write it a 4th time right here. Make sure you have your comma, otherwise it will be marked wrong. Okay, the next one. We're changing pounds to ounces. And we need our 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going from pounds to ounces. Are we going bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger? We're going from a pound, 1 pound, which is then 16 ounces. So we're going larger to smaller. We need to multiply. How many ounces are in a pound? What is our special number? It'd be 16. And so we do 31 times 16. When you multiply 31 times 16, 6 times 1 is 6. I don't have enough room here. I want you to go ahead and do it right now. I'll give you a minute on your own, see if you can figure that out. When you have it done, put your head down on your desk. And whether you're done or not, I'm going to give you the answer now. It's 496. So 496. And we'll move on to C. Go ahead and circle your answer. C, we're changing feet into yards. Okay, we're going from feet to yards. Are we going smaller to bigger or bigger to smaller? This time we're going smaller to bigger, so we need to divide. We're going to do, well, how many feet are in a yard? 3. And so now we get 27 divided by 3. And we'll put that in for step 3. And 9 goes into 27 3 times. Go ahead and look at your story problem right now. I'm going to help you with it today. Number 3 on the front side. It says the bookstore sold 37 copies of the book Charlotte's Web last week for $6.95 each. So the bookstore sold 37 copies of the book for $6.95. How much did the bookstore receive for them? You're going to have to multiply the $6.95 times 37. Okay, I'm going to have you do the rest on your own, but you need to know, to be able to finish this, that a sneeze can travel as fast as 100 miles per hour. It's really fast. So when a person sneezes, it can go 100 miles per hour. Wow. Something else you may not know. A person's nose and ears, they continue to grow for the rest of their life. And you'll notice sometimes you might see somebody who's a lot older and maybe their ears look larger or their nose looks larger or both. And that's not something you'd say to them. You don't say, wow, your ears look large, or wow, your nose looks large. But you might notice that. And that's going to happen to you and I too as we get older. Our ears and nose will continue to grow. Something that's interesting about the eye. Ooh, before we talk about the eye, I got to tell you about this. So, you know how you put a seashell up to your ear and you hear the ocean? Now, I think you guys are all old enough to know it's not actually the ocean in the shell. And what's interesting is the sound you're hearing that sounds like the ocean, it's not even coming from the shell. It's an echo of the blood pulsing in your own ear when you listen. So when you put it up to your ear, it's actually, that sound is coming from your own ear. Okay, and I started telling you about the eyeball. The human eye is so powerful, so sensitive, that on a clear night, when there's no moon and it's just clear skies, and if you had a person sitting on a mountain peak that was far away, you could see them light one match 50 miles away. Also, it's impossible to sneeze and keep one's eye open at the same time. It's impossible. So hopefully that will help you to be able to get all your work done. Go ahead and do the rest on your own. You guys are so smart. I know you can do it. I believe in you. I'm going to actually help you on a few more if you want it. Otherwise, you can continue to work on your own. I'm going to remind you how to do the subtract and checking on the backside, the add and checking, and the divide and checking, all on the backside. So I'm talking about 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so 5a, I'm going to go ahead and do the subtraction work here. 9 minus 3 is 6. 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 8 you can't do, so you borrow from the 1. You're left with 0. 16 minus 8, you get 8. So you get 806. Now to check if that answer is correct, you're going to add your 853 to your 806. And if you've done it correctly, then you're going to get what you had on top, the 1,659. So let's see. 3 plus 6 is 9. 5 plus 0 is 5. 8 plus 8 is 16. And so since that's the same number that we had at the top, this is correct. It's not your answer, but that just shows that it checks. Your answer is 806. Okay, number 6 says add and check. Well, if I add up these numbers, 7 plus 9 plus 8 plus 3 plus 2 plus 7, I'd get 36. Now to check this, I do the same thing, like I just went down and I added up each number, and I got the 36. Well, now you do the same thing, but you go up. 7 plus 2 plus 3 plus 8 plus 9 plus 7. And when you add those up, you get 36. And so it checks, and 36 is the correct answer. Okay, for divide and check, 4 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down the 3. 4 does not go into 3, so I'm going to put a 0. 4 times 0 is 0. Subtract 3, bring down your 2. And 4 goes into 32 8 times. 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract. I ran out of room, but you need to have it on your page. Now to check this, I'm going to take the 208 and times it by 4. Four times 8 is 32. 4 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3, and 4 times 2 is 8. Since this number matches the number there, it checks and 208 is correct. I believe in you.